Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about teamwork and collaboration skills and how they've progressed throughout the module and how they've changed. So my strengths and areas for development as a team member definitely altered during the course of this module. In the previous video, I had said my strengths were confidence, positivity, and friendliness. But since then, I have realized that I'm also creative, organized, and decisive. I'd never thought about being decisive as an important teamwork skill um, of mine, but it was really important skill of mine throughout this module, as we had many good ideas and each team member had a variety of skills, which meant we'd often need to make quick decisions when dividing like workload and when we were designing our challenge solution. So I feel that when there was an unclear answer, I would decide and explain why I thought whatever one was better. And I think my team really valued my decisiveness, and it helped us progress faster. So my organization skills also definitely developed and improved, and I think it's due to the structure of this module. It allows for routine, and I think I found organizing my work weekly and gradually really improved my organizational skills. So recognizing and valuing the strengths of others, I definitely think my ability to recognize and value the strengths of others has improved through active listening, which I've definitely worked on throughout this module. Active listening is not something I thought previously I struggled with, but after working with the group over a course of a whole module, it is something I think is extremely valuable to achieve and get the most out of group work, fully understand your teammates and communicate properly. Due to the longer nature of this group challenge, it allowed our team to recognise and work effectively with each other's skills, because we had time to see these skills throughout the weeks of working together. An example of how my ability to recognise my group strengths was when we were dividing up the final report. Myself and Sam met and equally divided the final report into equal parts, so that the word count and workload was equal for each member. And while we were sectioning out the work, we needed to make sure it was coherent and connected to our past work as well. So we had an easy time of doing this because we could recognise which group member would suit which part best. And obviously we let each group member decide what part they wanted to do, but there was kind of a natural flow to it, as we had previously been working on like different sections. So fulfilling my responsibilities within a team, I feel I fulfilled my responsibilities successfully within my team, and I was often assigned the creative role, as my teammates knew that I had some skills in that field, and also I also feel like I'm quite a good critical thinker. So during the course of our work, I discussed feasibility and limitations. I think I fulfilled my responsibilities to the best of my abilities, and within the time frame we had decided as a group. I work well in a group setting. I really enjoy having others to bounce off, and I think it really benefits idea generation. And as I said in my last video, I truly believe that two heads are better than one, and this group proved that our final solution, which was originally like a seed, as we presented it, each group member added something, and I'd like to think that it blossomed into a bigger idea. When designing the Canva, so an example would be when I was designing the Canva, I did struggle with the design complexity, and just doing it alone, as it was much more time consuming than I had previously thought. But I didn't want to leave this task unfilled, so I communicated with my team, and they really helped me by reassessing how we had divided the workload. And Izzy joined me, and we helped me on the creative side. And I didn't feel like I wasn't fulfilling my role, but rather communicating that one workload may have been a bit heavier, and I was met with so much understanding and kindness and support, and that helped me fulfill my role to the fullest, and all my group. So I think that was really good. So the next part I'm going to talk about is collaborative communication in a team environment. So I think my main takeaways was understanding and patience when communicating. So I learned that each person wanted to do well in my group and openly communicated. There was no question that was stupid, and everyone's really respectful. A main example of this was originally our first idea was an idea that I had come up with, which was creative media. And I thought it was a good idea and it was working. But then someone else brought forward the idea of the 4 week challenge, which was more suited to the project and that the group felt more was more feasible. Um, but the whole group did make me feel really valid and not embarrassed about having the idea, and even tried to incorporate it into our final solution. So in our 4 week challenge, there's a video activity each week, which is the inclusion of the creative media. I think this meant a lot to me, and the group really validated my input and my research that I had looked into. And I just had to accept that it wasn't the best fit, but it was still a good try. And I think the way we communicated about it was really, really proactive. So the next part is engaging with challenges that emerge in our team. Our team worked really, really well together, and we really didn't face many challenges as we communicated with respect towards each other, and everyone put in equal effort and wanted to do well. This, I think an example of this would be at the start of the module, we did struggle with our idea generation. We had a little background on climate literacy and on education plans. So I think we needed to keep researching and staying positive that we could create a solution. The limitations to our challenges due to the sensitive nature of adult learning, as well as adapting to multiple levels of educations in the learning, added to the struggle of creating an idea that would inspire engagement in our varied target group. This kind of affected our drive and our effort, but after a few days, we had to vamp up our effort to find this. So after a few days of research, and we were still not finding anything, we felt a little bit lost and a little bit hopeless, but we kept communicating and kept supporting each other, which I think was the main thing to get us through. And everyone just kept idea generating, and then we ended up finding our final solution. So that was really good. So the overall reflection, I think the most important thing I have learned about myself as a team member is that when you have patience and trust in your teammates, the workload is lighter. I think trust is the main thing I've learned from this module. I've learned that trusting and being calm encourages me as a team member to really try and achieve the best I can do, not just for myself, but also for my team members. This team has taught me that if you have good open communication, when dividing workloads, you can truly speak up and ask for the topics that you personally feel suit your skill set best, and be confident in your own abilities. The trust I have built in this group have also given me the courage to ask for help when I need it. As each group member freely offered support to each other, I learned to ask for help, advice, and feedback if needed. And I really feel like it boosted the work that we produce and fostered a positive working environment. I think overall during this challenge, I've really enjoyed working with my group, and it's given me a newfound love for group work.